The seed of faith is to read Quran. Blessedness for the soul that did for its God what he had assigned to it. He who believed in the reward shall do the goodness. He is certainly a victorious one, who depended on patience for victory. Running after manners is the beauty of one's lineage. The zakat, almsgiving, of beauty, should be chastity. No one shall win paradise unless he is running after it. He is exalted who is satisfied with what he has. The good afterlife lies in good work. No one shall receive the rewards of good except him who does it. Giving thanks to the giver is a shield against adversities. He is verily awake who takes lessons from life. The zakat, almsgiving, of fortune, is to give some of it. Jealousy comes according to the level of protection. Thanking God shall reveal the favors. The level of honor of the self shall be the level of nobility. Having patience for a long time is a characteristic of faithful people. The mend to the mind is manners. The hearer of the mention of Allah is a mentioner. The zakat, almsgiving, of bravery is to fight in the way of Allah. The thanksgiving of the believer appears in his works. The weapon of the believer is praying for forgiveness. He who gets exaltation from God, no ruler can put him down. According to the level of nobility, comes the level of generosity. The worship becomes fixed by depending on God. He who takes refuge unto God, no ruler can hurt him. The weapon of the believer is the prayers, dua. He who seeks peace should keep on straight. According to the level of shyness, the chastity shall be. The mend of religion, faith, is by good belief. He who is always true shall never be prohibited from dignity. The habit of the noble ones is generosity. Blessedness for him who remembered the afterlife and made the good. He who works for the afterlife shall win success. The happiness of someone is in satisfaction about what one got. He who has satisfaction in what God had given him is verily a rich one. Obedience to guidance shall rescue oneself. He who trusts God shall depend on him. No dependent on God has any tiresome times. He who has a strong faith, his sincerity is high. The ornament of faith is piety. Banishing away lust is a characteristic of wise people. The ornament of worshipping is humility. The head of the faith is truthfulness. The ornament of wisdom is giving away for this life. The head of Islam is sincerity. The increment in ignorance lowers. The satisfaction of Allah is the closest thing one can achieve. The satisfaction of Allah is bound to obedience towards Him. The head of wisdom is to be bound to the truth. The head of faith is patience. The mercy toward the weak people reveals the mercy. The head of piety is to neglect the bad things in people. The head of piety is to let go of lust. The head of kindness is to hold on the anger. The head of foreseeing is meditation. The one who mentions Allah is like the one who sits with Him. The mention of Allah shall banish away the devil. The mention of Allah is the cure for those sick souls. The mention of Allah shall banish diseases and misery. The clue to a man's faith is his piety. The clue to a man's jealousy is his chastity. The best of works is to have an equal amount of fear and hope. Go deep into the depths wherever the truth is. Fearing Allah is the wing of faith. Take determination and be bound to wisdom, and then the endings shall be fine. Fearing Allah brings to the fearer the feeling of safety. Fear Allah so that He makes you safe, and do not feel safe toward Him and so He might punish. The sweetness of winning clears the bitterness of patience. The noble of all manners, loyalty. The nobility of someone is his wisdom, and his beauty lies in his brain, mind. Remembering the experiments, this is the head of mind, wisdom. The result of humility is an honor. The sadness of hearts clears the sins. Good thanksgiving allows more increments. Good manners are the best of faith. Be a neighbor for wise men, scholars, and you shall be enlightened. The reason for good faith is good belief. The fight against anger with kindness is evidence of nobility. Good kindness is evidence of abundant wisdom.